Welcome back everybody to Veve Gems, where you get periodic videos on top quality NFTs on the Veve app, which I call Veve Gems. Today I will show you the top 10 undervalued comics on Veve along with the portfolio tracker and Veve stats for week number 21. And this is not financial advice. This is the Veve weekly statistics snapshot that I will discuss in more detail later on in the video, showing different growth parameters. This table shows the cost in gems per MCP point. In general, any value that is 7 gems and below is considered a good value. And the comics that stand out on this table include the rare variants of Journey into Mystery Annual number 1, Groot FA, Nick Fury FA, and Fantastic Four number 12. This table shows the percentage supply still available on the market for the top 10 undervalued comics on Veve. In general, the lower the percentage, the higher the demand for such comic is. And the ones that stand out on the list include Fantastic Four number 1, the common variant, Marvel Comics number 1, and Sergeant Fury number 1. We can also notice on the list that there are very high percentages for Journey into Mystery Annual number 1, the reason for which this comic has been recently dropped and hasn't been fully absorbed by the market, and to a lesser extent Amazing Fantasy number 15 as well has relatively high percentages. This table shows the percentage upside potential in the prices of the comics, and in general any percentage that is 300 and above is considered a good value. For those of you interested in the secret rare comics, we can see some negative percentages, and that means these comics are overvalued and are expected to decrease in price, while at the same time we can see some positive percentages, and these are expected to increase in price. This table compares the current prices of the top 10 undervalued comics. In general, any value that is 7 gems and below is considered a good value, and we can see the ones that stand out on the list include the common and uncommon variants of Hercules first appearance, Groot first appearance, Nick Fury, and Fantastic Four number 12. This table shows the total editions minted for these top 10 comics on the list. If we look at the last column, we see the total editions, and looking at the first column we see the number of editions under the common variant, then the next column the number of editions for the uncommon variant, then the rare, ultra rare, and secret rare. The factors on the right side of the table show you how rare is that variant compared to the common variant. So looking at number 1, Marvel Comics number 1, the uncommon is 8 times more rare than the common. In other words, there is 8 commons for each one uncommon, and there are 16 commons for each rare. There is 20 commons for each ultra rare and 80 commons for each secret rare. So this table will give you some perspective of how rare each variant is compared to the common mid-size. This table shows this week's addition to the investor's portfolio. So we have the top 10 comics ranked and the variants of those comics, as well as the prices of these comics today. And at the bottom we have the total amount invested for this week's investor's portfolio. This table shows the price performance of the addition to the investor's portfolio that was selected last week. So we have the top 10 undervalued comics ranked, the variants, the prices last week and the prices today, and the change for the week and the change percentage. So in total for the week we have lost 13.23 gems, or a negative 2.2%. This table shows the cumulative performance of the investor's portfolio over the last 20 weeks. So far, if we look at week number 20, we can see that we have invested 14,751.13 gems, currently valued at 10,587.75 gems, giving us a total loss of 4,163.38 gems, or a negative 28.2%. Now looking at the table on the right hand side, we can see the total number of NFTs that we have invested in so far, and underneath that total we can see the individual distribution between the rare and the uncommon variants of these comics. This table shows the weekly Veve social media stats. Looking at the bottom of the table, which is week number 21, we can see that we have lost 203 Twitter followers for the week. There's no change on Discord. We have lost 46 Facebook members, and we have lost 310 Instagram followers. So looking at the total above, over the period of 21 weeks, Veve has lost 1.62% of its Twitter followers, 3.57% of its Discord followers. It has gained 0.58% of its Facebook members and lost almost 6% of its Instagram followers. This table shows the weekly Veve ImmutaScan stats on the blockchain. So looking at week number 21, at the bottom, we can see that Veve has minted 22,430 new tokens for the week. And moving on to the unique owners column, we can see that only 59 new unique owners were added for the week. And this brings us to the TMO ratio, which is the tokens minted to unique owners ratio, which went up from 11.71 last week to 11.74 this week. So as long as this ratio keeps going up, that means the new unique owners are not keeping up with the new tokens minted, which may imply that the market will keep going sideways and to the downside. This is the weekly statistics chart of the growth parameters of Veve, and looking at the blue line, this is the tokens minted growth. It has grown by around 10% over the last 20 weeks, while at the same time we can see that the unique owners grew by around 1%. It is very obvious that the growth in owners is not keeping up with the growth in tokens minted. And looking at the growth of the social media, for Twitter we have a decrease of around 2%, Discord around 4%, and Instagram around 6% negative growth, which means on social media Veve is losing users, mainly due to the current economic situation and the recession that we are facing. This brings us to the key takeaways from this presentation. So in the short term, it is obvious that we are in an economic recession, and the token minting growth far exceeds the unique owner growth, and social media metrics are downward trending, and on average the token minting far exceeds demand. So the expected values in the short term are sideways and to the downside. For the long term, we may expect the economy will rebound in 2023 and 2024. Introduction of token burning may support values. Q1 2023 is the mass marketing target, and that should bring new users. The TMO ratio should at least stabilize or even better reverse upward trend to maintain values. Social media following should reverse downward trend once the economy rebounds. The token utility and gamification should add value, and the future NFT supply or minting is key, since oversupply will suppress values regardless of the catalysts noted above. So for the long term, as far as expected values are concerned, it really depends on the future token utility, the user growth, and Veve's future strategy. For those of you interested in the ranking methodology and key assumptions used to arrive to the top 10 undervalued comics on Veve, you can always check my video on July 30th, 2022, where you'll see all these details. In addition, you can check my Patreon page where I do the ranking of all comics on Veve using the same analysis that you will see in this video, as opposed to only the top 10 undervalued comics, which I update weekly on this channel. Here is a snapshot of my collection on the Veve app. You are welcome to follow me on the app by searching the Avengers logo edition number 100. It is under the Disney Golden Moments brand. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. As you see in my previous videos, I always respond to each and every question. If you got value out of this video, hit the like and subscribe button so that you can keep informed every week when I post updates. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.